Hi, it's Abby here from Yarn Square, and today I want to show you how to make this mosaic crochet piece. I will show you how to read a chart, and I will put the corresponding written instructions on the screen as we go. I will also show you how to add an envelope border at the end. I will quickly show you the chart for this pattern. Don't worry, we will go through it line by line. Mosaic crochet has a few rules. Each row alternates in colour. A blank box on a chart means that you would make a back loop only single crochet, and anytime there is an X, this means that you will make a double crochet into the front loop 2 rows down. I will run through an example to show you this in action. First, you will need a few supplies, a pair of scissors, a crochet hook and some yarn. I like to use DK weight yarn and a 4mm hook for mosaic crochet, but you can use what you like. Just make sure to use the corresponding size crochet hook, or even a little bit smaller than recommended, as we want to avoid large gaps that will show the colours through the overlapping double crochet stitches. Looking at the chart, we want to read it from bottom to top and right to left. So let's look at the first line, which is row 0. This is our foundation chain row. The capital letter A at either side of this row will indicate what colour we will be working with first and is not a worked stitch. So in this case, we are working with the lighter colour as colour A. Each box will indicate an individual stitch. The oval shapes indicate a chain stitch. As we can see from this row, we have to make a chain of 15 stitches. Starting with a slip knot, I will now make 15 chains. I will also make an additional chain stitch as a turning chain, so a total of 16 chain stitches. Now, looking at row 1, we can see that we are still using colour A, so we will still be using the light yarn. The next box indicates that we should make a border stitch as indicated by the letters BS. A border stitch helps to hold the rows in place on either side of a row. A border stitch is generally made by making a single crochet through both loops. However, as we are working into a foundation chain, we will just work a normal single crochet stitch into the second chain from the hook. Next, we have 13 blank boxes. A blank box means we make a back loop only single crochet. So as we are working into the foundation chain still, we will just make 13 single crochet stitches into the chain stitches. The last stitch of this row is another border stitch. Again, this will just be worked as another single crochet into the last chain stitch. Now that we have completed row 1, and from the chart we can see that row 2 uses colour B, we can now cut the yarn, leaving a short tail, and tie this to secure the row in place. Now looking at row 2, we can see that we need to attach colour B. To do this, make a slip knot on your hook with colour B. As the first stitch is a border stitch, we will insert our hook into both the front and back loops of the first stitch, making sure not to turn our work. As in mosaic crochet, we always work from the front side. Then yarn over, pull up a loop and complete the single crochet border stitch. Next, we have 13 blank boxes. This time we can make single crochet stitches into the back loop only. Last we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops, then cut and tie the yarn as we have now completed this row. Now looking at row 3, we can see that we need to attach colour A with a border stitch. Next we have 13 blank boxes, so make 13 back loop only single crochet stitches. Last we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops. Then cut and tie the yarn as we have now completed row 3. Now, looking at row 4, we can see that we need to attach colour B with a border stitch. Next we have 13 blank boxes. The colour of the box does not matter. The only thing we need to know is if it is blank or has an X in it. So we will make 13 back loop only single crochet stitches. Last we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops, then cut and tie the yarn as we have now completed row 4. Now, looking at row 5, we can see that we need to attach colour A with a border stitch. Next we have 3 blank boxes, so we will make 3 back loop only single crochet stitches. Now we have our first box with an X in it. This will mean that we will make a front loop double crochet 2 rows down. As we are using yarn colour A, we know that the double crochet needs to be made into the front loop that lines up with the next stitch in the previous colour A row. I like to pull the stitches slightly on either side of the stitch that I am working next, as this helps me see where to find the front loop that lines up with the next stitch. To make the double crochet stitch, yarn over and insert your hook into the front loop, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2 and yarn over, pull through 2. As we have made a double crochet, we will skip the stitch that lies directly behind this stitch and carry on with the rest of the row. You can also pull the crochet hook up straight to see where the next stitch should be placed. Next, we have 5 blank boxes, so make 5 back loop only single crochet stitches. Now we have another X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop 2 rows down. Then we have 3 blank boxes, so make 3 back loop only single crochet stitches. Last, we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops. Now, looking at row 6, we can see that we need to attach colour B with a border stitch. Next, we have 4 blank boxes, so we will make 4 back loop only single crochet stitches. Now we have an X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop 2 rows down. Next, we have 3 blank boxes, so make 3 back loop only single crochet stitches. Now we have another X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Then we have 4 blank boxes, so make 4 back loop only single crochet stitches. Last, we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops, then cut and tie the yarn, as we have now completed row 6. Now, looking at row 7, we can see that we need to attach colour A with a border stitch. Next, we have 3 blank boxes, so we will make 3 back loop only single crochet stitches. Now we have an X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next, we have a blank box, so make 1 back loop only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next, we have a blank box, so make 1 back loop only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next, we have a blank box, so make 1 back loop only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Then we have 3 blank boxes, so make 3 back loop only single crochet stitches. Last, we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops. Then cut and tie the yarn, as we have now completed row 7. Now looking at row 8, we can see that we need to attach colour B with a border stitch. Next, we have 2 blank boxes, so we will make 2 back loop only single crochet stitches. Now we have an X, so make 1 double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next we have a blank box, so make one back loop, only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make one double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next we have a blank box, so make one back loop, only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make one double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next we have a blank box, so make one back loop, only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make one double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Next we have a blank box, so make one back loop, only single crochet stitch. Now we have another X, so make one double crochet into the front loop, 2 rows down. Then we have 2 blank boxes, so make 2 back loop, only single crochet stitches. Last, we have a border stitch, so make a single crochet stitch through both loops. Then cut and tie the yarn, as we have now completed row 8. If you ever get lost on what row you are on, you can always count the border stitches at the side of the rows. As they alternate colours, it makes it much easier to count. I will now leave the chart up on the screen for you to pause and carry on repeating the process until you have completed all rows. Next, I will talk about how to add an envelope border to hide all the ends on each side. Once you have completed all the rows, your piece should look something like this. There are a few ways to finish off the ends on either side of the piece. I recommend at least tying a double knot in each pair along each side to secure the piece in place. If you have an odd number of strands to tie, just place 2 pieces together and carry on tying as normal. You can then trim the strands of yarn with a pair of scissors, leaving about an inch in length on each side. To begin adding an envelope border, turn the piece over so you see the wrong side, which is the striped side. Next, we will want to mark out where the corner stitches will go. I do this by finding the last stitch on the top or bottom of the work, not the side with all of the strands. I then count 1 stitch in from this and 1 row down. I then place a stitch marker in this space, facing down towards the rows. Then repeat this process for all of the corners. Now that all the corners are marked, we can begin crocheting our border. To start, we will make a slip knot with our border yarn and attach our border yarn to the front post of a stitch along our marked row. I like to start a few stitches in from one of the marked corners. For this border, we will be making front post double crochet stitches around. So for any front post stitch, rather than going through both loops at the top of a stitch, we will be inserting our hook next to a stitch from the front side, then go around the back of the stitch and out the other side. Pull a loop through and chain one to finish attaching your yarn. Now we can begin making front post double crochets. To start, yarn over, insert your hook around the same post we just attached to, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through two, yarn over and go through two again. We will now repeat making front post double crochets until we reach the first marked corner. I also like to mark the top of the first double crochet to make it easier to attach to at the end of the round. Now that we have reached the corner marker, we will turn our work and begin making front post double crochets along this edge. For a corner stitch, we will make 3 double crochets after the second double crochet. Move the stitch marker up and place it into the top of this double crochet, as this will become our new corner stitch for the next round. Now we can continue making 1 double crochet across each row along this edge until we reach the next stitch marker. Now we have reached the stitch marker, we will make 3 double crochets into the corner, making sure to mark the second double crochet again. And turn your work and continue making front post double crochet stitches along this edge until you reach the next corner. Once again, make 3 double crochets into this corner. And continue along this edge. Then make 3 double crochets into this last corner. Then continue along this last edge until you reach the first double crochet. Now slip stitch into the top of the first marked double crochet stitch to join the round. I will make one more round on this piece for my border, but you can carry on making as many as you like. Begin by chaining up 2, then we will make 1 double crochet into the top of each previous double crochet stitch across until we reach a marked corner stitch. As the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, we will place our first double crochet into this same stitch. Once again, I will mark the top of the first double crochet with a stitch marker. Now we have reached the corner stitch, we will make 3 double crochet into this stitch, making sure to mark the second of these 3 stitches. Then continue making 1 double crochet into each stitch around and 3 double crochet into each corner, and I will meet you back near the end of the round. Now we have completed this round, we will finish it off by joining to the first double crochet You can make a slip stitch and tie and cut your yarn, but I like to make the stitches look clean so I can more easily join them later. To do this, I will pull up a loop, cut the yarn, and pull the loop until the tail end comes through. Then thread your tail end onto a yarn needle. Now insert your yarn needle through both loops of the stitch that comes after the marked stitch. Now thread the yarn back through the place where your yarn tail came out. If you now pull your yarn tail, it will close up the loop, making a fake stitch that cleanly sits on top of your first double crochet. So now you get a clean edge when joining stitches later. You can now weave in your yarn ends and snip off any excess. The backside border is now complete. Now we just need to repeat the process on the front. To start, first flip your work so that the right side is facing you. Attach your yarn to a stitch around the edge. And chain 1. Now once again we will be making front post double crochet stitches around. This time it is much easier to see where the double crochet stitches need to go as they show through from the back. Keep going until you reach a corner. You can tell when you reach a corner because these stitches look bulkier than the rest. This is from where we placed 3 double crochets in the back corner spaces. Make 3 front post double crochets into this corner space, marking the top of the second of the 3 stitches. Then continue making 1 double crochet along the edge and 3 in each corner until you reach the first double crochet stitch. Now slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. We will make 1 more round of double crochet stitches to match the back side of the piece. Start by chaining 2 and making a double crochet into the same stitch. Remember, chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Then continue as before by making 1 double crochet into each stitch along the edges and 3 double crochet into each corner, marking the second of each of the 3 stitches. Before joining to the first stitch, we will want to sandwich the front and back borders together and stitch them together. To do this, find both your nearest corner stitches and line them up. Then, going along in pairs between the back and front border stitches, find the corresponding stitch to the first stitch where you need to join. Place your hook through both the front and back loops of both sides and make a slip stitch to join both sides together. Now, chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and make a single crochet into this same stitch. We will now make 1 single crochet into each pair of stitches around until we get to a corner, which is where both stitch markers should meet. Make sure to go through both the back and front loops for each pair. In each corner pair, make 3 single crochets. Then repeat around, making 1 single crochet into each edge pair and 3 single crochets into each corner pair. Along the edge where the row ends stick out, make sure to tuck these in so they do not get caught up in the stitches. You can leave a good few stitches at the end so you can weave in your starting tail ends to secure them before closing up the last few stitches. When you have completed closing up the border, pull up a loop and cut the yarn. I will use the same technique as before to make a clean edge finish by creating a fake stitch to close. Now, sew in your end, and your project is all done. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you want to dive into a pattern, then you can check out my Etsy store, which I will link in the description box below.